Hello guys, welcome to my new vlog. If you're new here, my name is Katrin, I'm a front-end developer living in Germany and I do vlogs and tech tutorials. So right now, this week, it is the end of March and the beginning of April. Unfortunately, we still don't have a real spring here in Germany. Few videos ago, I mentioned that we had few sunny, warm days, but I was afraid that it's not the end of winter yet, and I was right. We have some sun, but it is still very cold. Mostly it is less than 10 degrees Celsius, and we also have usually many heavy rains. So I am waiting for spring to come, and hopefully it's going to happen in April. Also, at the end of this week we have long weekends, because here in Germany we have Easter holidays. We are going to have days off on Friday and after that on Monday. We do not have something huge planned. One day we are going to dedicate to do a big cleaning and also declutter. I am going to say a few words about this later. One day we want to dedicate to hiking. I also did one hike this weekend with my friends. It was great. I also rode the bike for almost 1 hour, which is a very long distance for myself. So yeah, I had a great time and also a great legs workout. But I think we are not going to do the same hike. We probably are going to go to Solingen and to see castle there, because we heard that it's also very beautiful, and I will take you with me, of course. After that, on Sunday I'm going to do just my usual stuff. On Monday I want to dedicate time to my project, which I also mentioned once, that I want to finish and to do tutorial on this. Coding tutorial. So before we begin, I want to mention a book that I finished recently. So I finished the second book of Charlotte Link. I mentioned already the first one in another video, and if you are a fan of crimes and thrillers, then this one is definitely for you. In my previous video I wasn't sure if these books are translated to other languages, but now I know, because I found it even in Russian for my mom, and she also loved it. She finished this book in 3 days, so I think it tells a lot. If you and your mom looking for some shared hobby and you love thrillers or crimes, then that's definitely for you. Try this one. I don't know if I thought about this concept here in Germany. We have some sort of outside free libraries, you can call them so, I guess. It's kind of shelves that stay usually at some bus stops, at some supermarkets, somewhere outside on the streets, and people put there their books and you can just take them. A wonderful concept in my idea. So I found another book of Charlotte Link, and it's so crazy because it's one of her first. She looks so young here. The funny thing is that I'm pretty sure if this one would stay on the same shelf with this one, eventually this one would be taken like after 5 minutes, because it looks nice and new and everything, but no one would pay attention to this one. But it's the same famous author. Anyway, I was very happy about it. So yeah, that's about my reading recently. I finished few books more, but I'm not sure that they are worth mentioning, to be honest. Start with decluttering. I think it is very important to declutter your house. That is what was never something usual in my home when I was growing up. We did have big cleaning days, and for example we washed windows. Decluttering was a problem, I think, especially what was connected to old things that were like in the cupboards that you usually do not really see, wardrobe and such stuff. A good point where you declutter a lot is when you move somewhere. For example, when you change apartments, or especially when you move to another country, because you can't take with you a lot of stuff. And then you understand that you do not need this stuff and you just throw everything away. But yeah, when you live at the same place for a long time, then you can notice that you have already a lot of stuff that probably you should have a look at. For example, recently I also had a look at my clothes, and I have a rule here. If it is something usual, like not some evening gown or something like that, that you probably wear once a year to some wedding event or something like this. If it's something casual, what you wear every day, and you see that there is something that you didn't touch for a year or more, then it's definitely something that needs to be given away. There are things sometimes that it's not you anymore. So for example, in my case, I understood that I had many dresses or things that were like for me to look as a nice young girl, which is not an impression that I want to build right now. I want to look as a professional woman. I want to look as a serious woman. And that's why those were, for example, few things that I even didn't really hesitate to give away. I tried to exchange them with other things like blazers, trousers, so on. So that's just one example. Another area where I definitely know that I need to give some things away are books. I'm pretty sure that people usually do not reread books, so there is no point of keeping those books that you already read, in my opinion. But I have few types of books that I read already. For example, few books I let them be because I think that I might want to reread them. There are few books that I think that I want to keep them because I want, when my friends come to visit, or I don't know, someone comes and says, I want to take this book, it looks interesting, then I'm going, of course, to give it to them. But other books, I think it's definitely worth to give away to this open library, which I mentioned. Kitchen. I think in the kitchen we have many cupboards, drawers, where we just put stuff there and we never look at it. So that's also a place where you should have a look at least once a year, and to throw away everything that is outdated already, stuff that you already don't use, or you had some hobby and you do not do it anymore, so why to keep it? So those are just few areas where are like critical for me. I would be interested to hear which areas you usually have problems with, to declutter them. Grab a coffee or a warm drink and let's start.